It's English time, it's English time. Come and let's have fun. Read, write, speak, and watch, but listen. Participate and experience the magic of words. Welcome to a brand new acquisition of knowledge. This is Respectacular Learning English with Teacher Riz. Hi everyone, and welcome once again to another episode of RIZALDYlightfulLessons. I am Teacher Riz and I am ready to teach you about our new lesson for this week. Our new lesson is all about making inferences and drawing conclusions. Are you ready to learn about inferences and conclusions? Okay, alright, so let's talk about making inferences. When we say making inferences, I have here a definition. So remember that when we say making inferences, it tells an assumption based from what has been read, seen, or observed. So look at the word assumption. So what is your assumption based on what you have read, what you have seen, or what you have observed? So maybe you have already your, I assume that, you may say, I assume that that boy, that girl, I assume that what I have seen, what I have read, or what I observe is something like that. So you assume something. And when you are assuming, you need to observe. Remember that you need to examine the facts. You need to validate, you need to get proof or evidence why you are telling that assumption. So you need to examine the facts. And when we say facts, remember, these are truths. So what are the realities that may guarantee or as a proof of your assumption? So examine the facts. Next, you need also to determine what each picture or text suggests. So you need to read the entire text. For example, if you are reading an essay, if you are reading a narrative, so you need to read from the beginning up to the end of the text or the selection so that you may get the answer of your assumption. So that is what we mean by inferences. You are making inferences. That's why if when we say inferences, you are reading between the lines. So reading between the lines. So between the lines. So by looking at that person, you assume that, oh, he is happy, she is happy. Because maybe you are assuming because of his or her smile, right? So that is making inferences. Now, let's talk about the second topic, which is drawing conclusions. So when we say drawing conclusions, you have there the clue word conclusions. It is the output and results or final information or statement drawn from text read or pictures viewed. So remember, when we say conclusion, you are giving now your end statement. So you are saying, I therefore conclude, so this is now the final or the end result or final information of what you have read or what you have viewed when it comes to pictures. So I therefore conclude that based on facts, based from what I have read, I therefore conclude that he is really happy, that she is really happy. Remember, a while ago, you are just reading between the lines because of that person is smiling, showing smiles from his or her faces, then you are assuming that he is actually or she is happy. But after examining the facts, you rely on facts. That's why you have drawn your conclusion that you may say, I therefore conclude that the main character, for example, in the narrative, is really happy or sad. So that is what we mean by drawing conclusion. You are concluding, you are giving your final statement or the result of what you have read because you read the text completely. You are no longer assuming, but based on the facts, based on the truth that you have read from the beginning up to the end, then you may say, now I therefore conclude that the main character or the character in this story is happy, glad, grateful. There are many descriptions that you can give as your final statement because you relied on very good. Remember, it must be based on facts. That is what we mean by drawing conclusions. You are giving your concluding statement, final statement. All right? Now, let's try an example. I will give you a scenario, then let's try to infer and let's try to conclude based from your observation. So, I have here an example. Now, if you are given this scenario or situation, let's read. I showed my ID. I immediately went to the shelves to look for the books I needed. Everyone was studying and observing silence. Now, you can make inferences out of these statements. So look at the first line. I showed my ID. Now, from there, you may have already your assumption. So, where am I? Where am I entering? Where is the character entering? I immediately went to the shelves to look for the books I needed. Then, you have another assumption there that why is it that he or she is or she immediately went to the bookshelves? Remember, it says here, went to the shelves to look for the books I needed. So, the character here needs a book, right? So, you may have an assumption now here that where did the character go based on the second statement? Next, everyone was studying and observing silence. Another, you may infer reading between the lines. Everyone was studying. Where do I usually see people who are studying? So you have there already. You can give me now the place, right? And observing silence. So can you make an inference out of these statements? Right. So you can infer from the first statement that I need to show my ID when I enter school. Maybe I can I need to show my ID. If I will enter the cafeteria, do I need to show my ID? So you may ask yourself those questions. Then I immediately went to the shelves to look for the books I needed. So maybe you have already the thinking that, oh, I think this is a library. The character went to the library because I need to show my ID when I go to the library. Next, because of the word books, because of shelves, look, I need to go and locate the book I need when I go to the library. And then you may use these facts. Everyone was studying, of course. So basically, students or learners per se, they need to go to the library and study, right? And another fact here is the term observing silence. Remember that when you go to the library, you may see those signages, observe silence, right? So these are some of the facts that you can use in order to make an assumption. Now, after reading these statements, so you rely on facts. Now you can draw conclusion. Because you read from the beginning, you made an assumption, and you read at the until the end of these statements. Now you can draw conclusion now. What you can conclude? Very good. So you may say, I therefore conclude that the main character went to the library. Right? So see, remember, facts are very important when you are making inferences, and at the end, you need to rely on those facts to draw your conclusion. Alright, so very good. So that is all about making inferences and drawing conclusion. You assume, then you read the entire story or text, then you may conclude, you may answer now your question based on those facts. Then you can draw your conclusion. Alright, children, so that is all about our lesson for today. So to continue learning about making inferences and drawing conclusions, you may locate all your learning tasks on pages 26 to 28 of your module. So good luck and stay safe, everyone. So there, I hope you learned something new today. Keep on learning. Stay safe.